Nashville is the birthplace of country music legends and is now home to another iconic brand. For the first time, Music City is hosting the inaugural Music City Rodeo on Broadway, where the world's top cowboys and cowgirls compete over 3 intense days for a shot at glory and a hefty cash prize. Tonight, the final competitors will take the stage at Bridgestone Arena, bringing this epic event to a dramatic close. Can Stetson Wright hang on to that top spot in bull riding? Will Marty Yates and his new horse Snoop dethrone Tough Cooper's 7.2-second run that's held up all week? It all comes down to tonight, and it all starts right here on Rodeo Live.
I got you. Luke, yes, please. Water?
Balls are in the shoe, boots are in the dust, ropes are at the ready, folks are rearing up, for some saddle blazing, barrel racing, thunder roaring, bleachers shaking, giving out, we're about to turn loose. Oh shoot, it's finally time for Rodeo Live, the toughest sport on dirt, that 8-second ride, with the cowboys and girls, let the Bronx have the gate, y'all better hang on, just gold buckles and stay, get your feet, hit the lights, saddle up, cause it's finally time for Rodeo Live. We've got the fastest girls on horse, toughest bulls around, meanest rough stock and a heck of a crowd. Every hat is on a heart and every eye is watching. No glory wave in the home of the brave. It's finally time for Rodeo Live, the toughest sport on dirt, that 8-second ride, with the cowboys and girls, let the Bronx out the gate. Y'all better hang on, there's gold buckles at stake. Hit your feet, hit the lights, saddle up, cause it's finally time for Rodeo Live. Saddle up, cause it's finally time for Rodeo
Well, welcome. This is Rodeo Live coming at you here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm your host, Sierra Spratt, and welcome for an incredible star-studded lineup, I must say. We have Luke Branquino, Jordan Joe Hollenbaugh, and Tilden Hooper joining me at the desk to talk all things of the first ever Music City Pro Rodeo. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. When you talk about the buzz in the crowd and the fans in the streets, this is unbelievable. And, you know, for me being in rodeo my whole life, to be able to come here for the first ever, it's amazing, Jordan.
It is, and we've gotten to see this crowd really get involved in rodeo. We watched just a little cowboy earlier singing Dear Rodeo. It just was heartbreaking. So it's just awesome to see it. We're excited to be here in Nashville.
Yeah, this is what I imagined rodeo being like. Like all the crowd, everybody back here, the electricity, the buzz before the rodeo. This is awesome.
It is definitely exciting. It's been going on all week long, but this is the third and final performance tonight. We're going to see who takes home the championship in every event. Jordan, let's talk a little bit about the format, the payout, and what we're seeing tonight at this rodeo.
So this rodeo is a one-header. It's got $25,000 added in every event, and I'm going to let Tilden tell you a little bit about the format.
Well, it's just in the bareback riding, it's one head straight up. Everybody gets one shot. You come in here, you leave it all out on the table, and the winner takes all. Or not takes all, but it's a good time to lay it all out there for sure.
Now, Tilden, you actually were in this rodeo, and you're sitting second. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, I had an awesome horse last night. Sam Peterson had an awesome ride, got me by a half point. It was fun, man. I tater taught Corco Rodeos. That was a cool little horse. I'd like to get on that one again.
And Luke, you were, were you in the rodeo too?
No, I was entered, but I got drawn out because I didn't feel like I was good enough
due to qualifications.
Yeah, so, I did enter, but just didn't get to compete.
Next year, for sure.
No, I'm retired.
That's
Again?
what you keep saying, but you keep trying to enter, so...
And this seems like the type of event you might come out of retirement for. It looks pretty exciting so far.
Listen, if they took exemptions, I'd have been running one tonight because the guy I entered with was up tonight.
How many retirements does a guy get? Like, asking for a friend.
Enough.
Now, Jordan, your event is the breakaway roping, but we don't see breakaway roping here yet. What's the deal?
I would love to see breakaway here at Nashville. This is such a fast setup, which we know us breakaway ropers, we love to be fast and furious. So I hope that next year Nashville considers us. We would love to rope in this arena and be fast and furious, and who doesn't want to come to Music City?
I agree completely. All right, let's take a look at who is currently winning here in Music City Pro Rodeo. Let's take a look at that leaderboard. Starting out, Tilden, take us through the bareback riding.
Well, Sam Peterson, he's got lunatic heaven right here. This horse is pretty dang cool, up and down, but dang sure could buck a guy off, standing him up there on his feet. Sam's making a absolutely perfect ride right there. I mean, you get beat sometimes and you scratch your head and wonder why, but that wasn't one of the times. Sam owned that sucker last night. That was a great bareback ride.
Yeah, and right here we have Rowdy Parrott. He was in the slack run, which the slack is the overflow contestants that did not get to go into performances, and he just absolutely annihilates this steer. Great start at the barrier, good work with his feet on the ground, but just the start and his horsepower was key for Rowdy, and you can see him slow down, get that nose, and finish. Great run for Rowdy.
Now, Luke, take us right through the team roping, too.
Yeah, and the team roping in this building can be tough because you happen so fast, you get caught up in this corner. But Cody Snow and Hunter Cook right here. Hunter let that steer just a step to the right, which gave Cody enough room to get him turned and able to Hunter to get the heel shot in and Cody get faced around. Just a great run right here, a smart run, and that's winning it right now.
Now, on the saddle bunk riding, Tilden, we got a three-way tie going on for that top spot.
Yeah, there's so many good horses and good guys out here. That's not surprising. Right there, Statler Wright, man, that horse right is getting better every jump. What do you got there, Jake Finlay? He's going at that sucker. That is not an easy horse, and he's making a great ride.
Now, Jordan, we don't have the breakaway yet for the ladies, but we do have the barrel racing in this event. So take us through that top run so far in the barrel racing.
I know all of these girls are excited to be here at Nashville. Here we're watching Margot Crowther. She makes it a great run, just lays it down to 13.09. This is a really small building, and so these horses and their pattern, every step, every turn counts. So Margot made a great run right there. I know we have an awesome lineup tonight, so I'm excited to see how we finish out here.
And then we got the bull riding. We got Stetson Wright, the man.
Superman. They don't call him that by accident, man. Look at that ride. This bull's bucking around there to the left, and Stetson's making a flawless ride. He's hungry right now, and you can see it in his riding.
Ooh, he has been fun to watch so far, and the season is just getting started. But we have one performance right now tonight that's going to maybe shake things up across the board entirely. Let's go into our Tractor Supply Company winning moment. That's going to be Tuff Cooper in the tie-down roping with a 7.2-second run, which he put up in that very first performance, and it's held.
He did, and Tuff right there, you saw his horse tripped a little bit. He missed the barrier, but comes along. He is so smooth on the ground. Puts a rap and a hooey on him right here. I know he talked about that in his interview. It's so important for him to be here and clinch this run for his, the loss of Roy recently. And I know that Roy would be excited in the stands and probably cheering on the Cowboy Channel right now and say, yeah, baby, good run.
Well, and the thing about Tuff is he's so good. When he knows there's a bobble, he doesn't panic. He's so good with his long rope. He's like, okay, I'm not in the position I want to be. I'm going to take an extra swing, but go ahead and reach and get it around that calf's neck, and that's exactly what he did. We see him do that his whole career, and that's because of what Roy has taught him.
And he just, exactly, he knows what he does. He has confidence in what he does. It's so fast in here. You saw his horse tripped right there, and he was a little late, but 7.2, he doesn't let it bother him. He's a veteran. He knows what he's doing over and over again, and we see that in this run.
Now, you mentioned, Jordan, that it is going to be a fast start in the breakaway. Did it seem the same there in the calf roping for all those guys? I mean, was it kind of just nod and go, get that calf?
I haven't been down there on the ground. I would assume it's 4 under here inside this building, so it looks really fast. As we saw Tuff, he missed the barrier a little bit, and he went right behind with his nod. So it looks really fast. The calves look good. I think we'll have a good rodeo tonight.
Well, it's definitely going to be exciting. Stay tuned. When we come back, we have more breakdowns of the tie-down event with Jordan Joe and Luke Branquino. Stay tuned.
Rodeo Live by brought to you by RM43, Serious Weed Control, and Las Tunas, International Horse Breeder.
Well, welcome back to Rodeo Live. We are partying up here on Broadway here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm your host, Sierra Spratt. Alongside me, Luke Branquino, Jordan Joe Hollenbaugh, and Tilden Hooper. They let in for some reason. I'm not sure.
Snuck right in.
He's here for pure entertainment. We're glad to have him.
Whatever I'm here for, I'm glad to be here. Look around. This is a spot to be right now.
Well, we're definitely excited to have you here. Now, Luke, you mentioned earlier in the previous segment that a couple of those top leaderboard changes were due to slack. So what is slack for the fans watching, for the fans at home? Explain it to us. Break it down.
Yeah, so 80 contestants got to enter in the timed events, and if the 3 perfs, obviously 10 perf, that leaves 30 in the perfs, 50 extra contestants.
Do you need me to take my shoes off so you can count?
Yeah, can you? I don't.
Okay, cool.
Can't count very good. So they use that slack for the 50 overflow contestants, and that's what we've seen with Cody Snow and Hunter Cook, Rowdy Parrott. That's when they got to compete. Unfortunately, they weren't here for the bright lights and the concerts and all that, but they still have a chance at the same amount of money.
Now, Tilden, you don't experience slack as a rough stock rider.
No, thank goodness. Bareback riding's great, but it's a lot better whenever there's a crowd and it's not at 7 in the morning or something.
That's an early slack. I don't know that I've been in a 7 a.m. slack in a while.
I thought that's when they were. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since you've been out there.
The college national finals. I did that once.
I don't know, walking around Music City this morning just being a tourist, 9:30, 10 o'clock, they were out here doing their thing, so.
Yeah, when we seen Jordan, they were up on top of the rooftops already having, I think, a mimosa probably. I don't know if it was a whiskey.
I thought I saw her dancing on a party bus earlier.
That was her.
Yeah, that was her, right?
Touring.
There were several of them touristing.
All right. Before we get too deep down that rabbit hole, let's go over and break down who we're looking at tonight. Luke, I'm going to start with you. There's a steer wrestler that you kind of got your eye on that you're eager to see tonight.
Yeah, and that's Justin Schaefer, and for the simple fact is he is so technically sound, and we're going to get a good shot right here. He gets over the top of these steers every time in the catch. This is a great shot, slows it down. Feet get out, pushing out off with his right foot, slowing that steer's momentum, but the key is wide base. He's controlling everything through this run. He's over the top of that steer's nose with a good strong finish and a flat fall. I'm looking to see good things out of Justin today. And, Justin is one of those guys that's worked at it for so long. He made his first national finals last year, Jordan, and should have been there many times before that. And you see right there, 2024 NFR qualifier, he's ranked right now 11th. He's having another great year. So, he's one of those guys that you're just going to see excel at events like this.
And you guys have history, don't you? I mean, weren't you kind of always practicing together, going up together? Did you teach him everything he knows?
No, absolutely not. I learned a lot from Justin Schaefer. Actually, he was the guy I rodeoed with the last year I went. Him, Jacob Talley, and Tucker Allen. And I learned a lot from him, but more so our son Cade started steer wrestling, and he has learned a ton from Justin. Just a great family, and it's fun to watch him win.
Well, and he's a family man. He's over here in the crowd right now. He's got all 4 of his kids, and he's super excited because the biggest thing about Justin Schaefer, I saw him last weekend at the Western Legacy Project. He was giving his time for 3 days in a row to kids that were learning how to rodeo. It was all a volunteer event, so you love to see him win in and out of the arena.
Now, Jordan, let's go to you next because you got someone that you're also watching tonight, specifically because of that Las Tunas horsepower one to watch.
I am. Marty Yates is my pick right here, and he's riding this new bay horse that he's got called Sir Beefcake. His barn name is Snoop, but Marty is somebody that I love as a breakaway roper just to watch his form. He has amazing, just right here, he's ready to throw his rope. He has a great body position, but he hangs in his stirrup right here. That horse gives him a really good slack right here and sets his run up. He gets a hold of this calf's head. Marty runs down there, gets a great flank, sticks it on him. He's 7-1 right here at San Angelo. And look at that confidence that Marty has walking back to his horse. That's the Marty Yates we're used to seeing, 10-time NFR qualifier. And that's what a horse does for you. And Timber, I called you Timber. Wow.
Sorry,
okay, cool.
I like Timber.
Timber Moore's cool,
yeah,
but Tilden Hooper. Anyway, we were talking about horsepower earlier and how neat it is to just see these horses that are featured in the timed events because they don't get as much attention as the rough stock does sometimes. So I love bringing this to the light. Lonnie K was telling me earlier that Miley rides this horse just after Marty gets off of him, and it's a family event. So Marty loves this horse. I think we have great things to see from him this year. He's coming back strong. You can see he's 2020 Reserve World Champion, Wrangler NFR qualifications 10, and he's only 30 years old. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal.
Marty Yates with his chest out walking back to his horse, that kind of confidence, that's a dangerous man right there.
Yeah, agreed. And we've seen him do that over and over again. But even as a breakaway roper, I love watching him, Luke. And Have you ever breakaway roped or calf roped or attempted anything like that?
I actually made the California Circuit Finals like 5 times.
Oh.
But I want to go back to the name of the horse, Sir Beefcake.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a nickname that I was called when I was rodeoing before I retired.
Well, this is a hashtags horse, so I don't know. Lonnie said he looks like a beefcake, but would you know what that looks like?
I have to ask my wife.
Oh.
Did anyone else call you that besides you?
That's not the point, Tilden. I just feel like somebody did.
Somebody. You.
Tilden, do you have a nickname? I feel like you have a nickname.
Yeah, the Texas Tornado. Also, I'm the only person that's ever called me that besides Lefty Holman.
Self-proclaimed. I like it.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, well, we got to go to break. When we come back, we have an exciting feature of none other than Rusty Wright. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Rusty Wright was born into rodeo royalty, but his journey was never paved in gold. This cowboy has endured pain, not just from broken bones, but from enduring loss that even time won't fully heal. Rusty and his family take us through his path to redemption, with his sights set on his first gold buckle.
He's been through hell and back multiple times.
He's the walking definition of getting dealt lots of crappy hands and coming out.
I think the things that have happened to me and things that have happened for me happened for a reason and made me who I am now and who I'm becoming. I don't think that I would have the mindset and be where I'm at right now.
To be a cowboy is to endure pain. Rusty Wright knows this intimately. But not just the lingering ache from broken bones on almost every part of his body, but the agony that runs so deep it is a part of who he is and how his story is told. A story that starts in Milford, Utah, in a family of cowboys and cowgirls.
How I would describe each of my kids, I would say Rusty is probably my most emotional, biggest supporter of, everybody. He loved to have fun. He was always antagonizing his brothers. And, being the oldest, you're kind of like first at everything. So you're like the learner. He's learning right along with Cody and I.
Rusty was that guy that I thought walked on water, and he's been my idol since I was a little kid.
He was always the cool guy, that I looked up to growing up. I just always wanted to be like him.
He's, type of kid that give you the shirt off his back. and help you in any way you can. We were born into it. As long as I can remember, my dad's been rodeoing. I started riding bulls when I was like in 7th or 8th grade. And I smartened up when I was in high school and started getting on broncs. That's kind of when my rodeo career started.
Rusty started riding broncs in 2012. After winning back-to-back high school championships, he bought his PRCA card in 2014 and made an immediate impact in the sport.
I won Resist All Rookie of the Year, and then I had a really good year in 2015. And I think I ended up 3rd in the world that year.
When I showed up, Rusty was at the top of his game. Like, he had just won Reserve World Champion 2018. He was just like right there to win a world title every year.
I'd made 5 NFRs and she had 3 kids, and I owned a couple houses in Milford and a house here in Beaver, and I would say life was, looked pretty dang good to me.
On June 2nd, 2021, Rusty and his ex-wife gave birth to their 4th child, Rusty Rookie Wright. The night before, they discovered the umbilical cord had prolapsed, resulting in a stillborn birth.
We lost a baby. I don't know how to talk about it. And, that's kind of a crappy thing, because when you don't know how to talk about something, it just kind of eats at you. And it probably will eat at me forever. Shoot, I lost a kid. And I'd break a leg break any bone in my body over that happened to anybody. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It's a hopeless, helpless feeling. I tried to be the one, the strong one, keep everything going, and but it really ate at me. It kind of took my drive to rodeo away, and it showed in my ride. And I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be anywhere. I didn't want to do anything, and it really showed in my bronc riding, and it went downhill.
I think it affected him huge mentally, and with rodeo, I always say it's 80% mental. So if you're not in the right headspace, you're not going to do good and compete in the arena.
He couldn't seem to stay healthy. He kept breaking bones, and he broke his leg, his arm, and Rusty, he didn't handle it all that well.
Just kind of spiraled downwards.
Injury after injury after injury, and then when the little brothers come on.
Let's go, Ryder.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is a world champion. Here's Stetson Wright.
Has got 8 world titles.
That is one of the most amazing cowboys we've ever had in the history of our game.
And they're just lighting the world on fire. A lot of pressure. There was a lot of pressure on him, placed there by himself, feeling like maybe he wasn't good enough.
I wasn't winning. Nothing was going good. And then I started playing the poor me game again, started drinking a little too much. Drinking doesn't ever fix anything. It just kind of puts a little, masks it for a minute until you wake up the next morning and makes it 10 times worse. I was pushing my family away. My brothers didn't want to be around me. I was a miserable drunk. I was literally destroying my whole life with the drinking.
You start slipping into a mindset of is this God telling me that I should find a different path in life?
I was at my breaking point. I was like, F this. I'm going home. I'm not enjoying myself. I'm not having fun. I'm not winning. And even when I am riding good, I'm still not winning. Driving that song, it's called Little Boy by Barnes Courtney, starts playing it.
Little boy inside my chest, beat my heart just like a drum. Tell him I'll never forget how it was when we were young.
I knew something was trying to tell me, don't be done yet. You got a lot left. That is the day I was like, okay. I remembered why I started, my why, and my why is just because I love it. I want to be a world champ. I want to be up there, have a gold buckle just like my dad and my brothers, and I want to show my kids, and with hard work and not giving up, and even with all the stuff that gets thrown at you, you can get it done. Quit drinking and it's changed my whole life and my career. It's got my shit together, my mental side of things back in. I instantly started riding better, and that's all I could think of was I'm back. Like, I'm gonna kick some ass now. I started winning.
The oldest of 4 brothers. Hey, everybody, that is the great Rusty Wright in the arena.
If you like it, he can hear you now. Good ride, Rusty.
He is going to possibly do it tonight. 86 and a quarter.
He pulled himself out of it and started having an awesome year. You can't keep a good dog down.
What I'm seeing in Rusty is that older brother that I looked up to. Yeah, that I've looked up to since I was a little kid, and it seems like we're coming to the end of the hell story. We're getting into that Cinderella story now.
I'm learning to believe in myself. I think every day I am doing things to help with my confidence and my belief in myself, and trying to prove to myself that I do deserve to have a gold buckle, and that I'm gonna have one. When I finally do strap one of them things on, it's gonna mean to me more than it has to anybody. I'm glad everything's gone the way it has. It's gonna make a hell of a story.
Welcome back to Rodeo Live here in Nashville, Tennessee. What an incredible feature of Rusty Wright. I mean, I'm glad I saw it before, because I got pretty teary even the second time. So I'm glad I knew what to expect a little bit.
Yeah, and really anybody that has rodeoed like that family, you're going to go through the ups and downs, have the valleys and peaks, but that is to an extreme. We know that he had a lot of success at such a young age, and then all of a sudden tragedy hits, injuries hit, and that is a hard thing to come back from. But without the support of his family, there's no telling where he'd be.
Yeah, well, and I think for me, it's like he walked through those valleys. You know, we see the Wright family, we see all the success they've had, but that's rodeo. Like, it does not come without the valleys and the mountains, and he's walked through that. And I mean, I don't know, I just have such a tingling in my spirit. Like, that was just phenomenal. But the vulnerability he had right there to talk about it, I mean, I'm just excited to hear more of that story sometime.
Yeah, I'm kind of like Stetson. I'm ready to see the Cinderella side of this story. I mean, like you said, the rawness that it took to go on camera and say that it's huge. And, you know, I'm super happy for Rusty and happy to see him on the come up, and I think he's capable of winning a gold buckle, and we're going to see him tonight take a step towards that gold buckle. But at the end of the day, that 9-minute video right there, him opening up and telling people about what happened to him, that's going to change a lot of lives. And he never wins a gold buckle.
Yeah.
He did something huge right there.
Amen. And I think too, how he said, I'm learning to believe in myself. That was huge, and I think that's what we all, you know, for me, I wrote that down, learning to believe in myself each and every day. So thank you, Rusty, for sharing that with us.
There's the star himself. He's getting ready for the rodeo. That's him there tonight. We're going to see him. It's going to be pretty exciting. And what I truly loved about that, I think, out of all those 9 minutes, I love that he said, I was finding my why again. And my why is just that I love it. I don't know why that just gets me, because I'm positive all three of you on this desk, exactly what you would say too.
Well, and anytime you get in a situation where you're struggling, you have to find that why. And a lot of people don't even know how to find it, but you have to dig it out. It comes from a lot of places that I can't even explain, but you have to go and get it.
Yeah, well, I love it too. I mean, I think we're all a bit teary-eyed over here.
Yeah, man, I can hardly talk about it. Just like I said, hats off to Rusty for opening up like that, and that's going to change some lives.
I agree completely, and we thank Rusty for his vulnerability and allowing us to show us this story. But we're going to take a quick break, because when we come back, we have a very exciting celebrity guest that I think this crowd behind is going to be pretty excited. Tim McGraw will be joining us along with others. Stay tuned.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by Tractor Supply. For life out here.
co-host Luke Branquino, and a few people that I think is causing the crowd a little bit of noise here. We're here with Tim McGraw, Timothy Wayne, and Cody Custer. Guys, welcome, welcome.
Wait, that wasn't for me? I'm glad to have you guys on stage.
It's hard to hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to have some noise control here. I mean, we're excited that they're excited, though.
Absolutely.
Now, Tim, we'll start with you because you have been dubbed as one of the founders of the Music City Rodeo, you with Reba and Jelly Roll. How did this start? I mean, was this idea that you had, or where did this come into fruition?
Well, it came from Pat Hughes and my team, Brian Kaplan, and we couldn't believe that there hadn't been a PRCA rodeo in Nashville all these years. And, you know, all that's going on in Nashville, it just seemed like the perfect time to do it and bring it. And then Jelly Roll and Reba jumped in a big way to help support it. And the city has supported it in such a big way. And we couldn't be more excited about it.
Well, and I know just from rodeo in my career, there's always been rodeos in the vicinity, on outskirts.
Sure.
But to something you have to be proud of, that you guys said we're going to do this and get the city behind you.
We're so proud of it, and we're proud it worked out. I mean, and everybody supported it so well. And I was here Thursday night and got to see the whole rodeo, and you know, such incredible athletes. I mean, that, to me, you know, it's like watching LeBron James and Michael Jordan all rolled into one with these guys.
Now, Tim, it's always exciting because you are a fan of rodeo. In fact, that's how you were able to meet Cody Custer.
Oh, my God, one of my heroes, yes.
There, world champion. Cody, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, it's great to be here. I got brought on just to be a consultant, really, but they've been making me pack panels and wheel a shovel, so I'm a team player. I'm going to do what it takes to make her work. So
yeah, we tried to bring him out of retirement to do one more ride.
Yeah, you can YouTube me.
Well, Cody, you've always been around helping support rodeo. I mean, starting with PBR, getting that up and going, and being able to see how that's taken off, and now where this rodeo here in Nashville's taken off. I mean, the sky's the limit, really.
Yeah, it's exciting. I help a lot of young kids. You know, I train a lot of young kids, and I'm excited. There's a handful of them out tonight, Wacy Shala being one of them. It's kind of cool to see the next generation coming up. But I've been involved in rodeo since as far back as I can remember. I'm really excited to be a part of this deal. And they brought me on and asked me to be a part of it. And it's just see what's going on here. This is an awesome city, and what's happening here. Thursday night put a staple in it. We're here.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of the next generation, our final guest here, we have Timothy Wayne, which is the nephew.
My nephew, yes.
Right here. Pretty exciting. And you have music coming out. I mean, you're on the rise. Clearly, they already know who you are.
Yes, ma'am. He's doing great, man. His music is so good. And I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to go in with Byron Gallimore and produce his records. And I can't wait to see what happens next with him.
Without their influence, I don't know if it would sound just quite as good.
I'm sure it would.
Now, Timothy, we were able to watch a feature there of the Wright family, which is a family of saddlebronc riders, and one of them mentioned that they have that family pressure. They've got superstar brothers, and he has that pressure to achieve great things, too. Have you felt that being related to Tim McGraw at all?
Of course, but having him and Faith in my corner makes it a whole heck of a lot easier.
He's more nervous about Faith than he is me.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, I got to ask you, because obviously an icon in country music, and being able to be there and watching your nephew do what he loves to do, is there pressure on you to, like, hey, steer him down the right path to get him going the right way, which obviously he is?
I try, but he's got a good head on his shoulders. You know, he's a senior, going to be a senior at LSU, so he's studying hard and he's working hard at music, so he's got a lot going on.
Now, we have to talk about, too, here at this rodeo, there's some charitable actions with proceeds going forward to Children's Hospital. Tim, tell us about that.
For the Children's Hospital and Gibson Cares, there's so much stuff going on. And Cody and I and Cole and Tim got to go visit the kids over at Vanderbilt, and that was such a great experience. You know, when you go do things like that, you get way more out of it than they do. And the parents, the parents go through so much. And if we can light them up just for a little bit, it's good.
Well, and I think that's something, Cody, we obviously have experience at giving back to the communities with these great events.
Well, that's just part of rodeo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Western way of life, that's what we do. We give back. We help elevate.
Yeah, I love it. I saw how Tim interacted with everybody at the hospital and those kids and their parents. Just, man, I'm a fan for life.
Thank you, man.
Now, Timothy, we talked about your music, but also, which is a pretty cool thing, is that you're currently a student at LSU.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you kind of chasing that normal college experience, or do you not get that at all?
Well, I mean, yes and no. The college was more for a backup plan if music wouldn't work out, but I think it's going all right so far.
Well, I told him that he had to finish college before I would support him. Yeah.
Backup plans are always good. Luke, what was your backup plan if the steer wrestling thing didn't work out?
Yeah, I didn't really have one. I went to junior college for 2 years, paid a guy my second year to do my homework, and I'm fortunate that the steer wrestling worked out.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
Now, besides, I'm sure the crowd doubling or tripling.
Well, I hope it doubles and triples and goes on for years and years and years and just grows and grows and grows and turn it into a big festival is our plan. Yeah.
Oh, a festival.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, and you said...
I mean, we want to compete with Calgary and Houston and all those guys.
Well, I think you're doing it right now. I mean, and when you have the support, like you said, Jelly Roll, but Reba McEntire from a rodeo family, with that type of support, I've said it, the sky's the limit for this event.
Yeah, I mean, Reba's granddad was a world champion. Her dad was a world champion. Reba was a great barrel racer. And she's one of my favorite people in the world. I mean, we love Reba McEntire. She's the queen of country music.
Now, Cody, I got to know, way back when you were riding bulls, getting world titles, did you think that one day the rodeo could take us to a place like this here in Nashville?
I'm excited to see where it's at. I kind of wish this would have happened way back when we were young and would have been able to reap the benefits of it. But it's exciting to see where it's going, and there's more rodeos like this going on, and we got big plans for the future. So
we sure do.
We're excited.
Well, and I think you guys have seen it, what you've done here in just this short year. You're elevating the sport of rodeo.
Oh, thank you.
And I think you said you wanted to compete with the Calgarys, the Houstons, and you're on your way. And Cody, this question's for you. What would it take to get to that next level, in your opinion?
Well, I just think that rodeo's growing, and I think the diversity of our fans, that to me it's not just everybody that grew up on ranches and all that stuff. We've got a big range of people that follow rodeo, and it's getting bigger and growing. And with the Cowboy Channel exposure, it's giving new people insight to what we do, and I'm excited about that. So I think that's the key, is just keep it out in front of people.
Absolutely.
Definitely new, exciting things. Speaking of, Timothy, I got to know, do we have a new album coming out soon, or what? Give us a little taste. Give the crowd, help them out.
Yeah, I can't talk too much about the project, but I do have a new song coming out June 13th, I believe. So keep your ears out for that.
I thought they might like that. Tim, what about you? You've got a new song that came out not too recently with Parker McCollum. It's amazing.
Yeah, Parker, we asked Parker to come on Paper Umbrellas with us, and I love what he does, and he did a great job on the song, and that's our new single. And I'm in the middle of recording a new album, and I'm doing a brand new song tonight nobody's ever heard, so I'm excited about that.
Well, we want to thank all three of you so much for joining us. Tim, we're going to see you later taking over this stage. We can't wait. I'm sure the crowd can't wait, and thank you all three for being here.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Well, when we come back, we have a feature with our very own rocker Steiner going to be taking over also Bridgestone Arena. Stay tuned.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by Hire, history, heritage, and a hell of a comeback. And Folds of Honor. Honor, educate, unite.
closer to rodeo time here at Bridgestone Arena. I am welcomed back by my lovely co-hosts Tilden Hooper, Jordan Joe Hollebach, and Luke is still here for some reason.
Yeah.
You said they're lovely? What am I?
Tilden and I were just talking about who has a bigger crush on Tim, you or Luke.
Judging by the sweat, I'm saying it's Luke.
Yeah.
100%.
That was a pretty incredible
Who wouldn't have a crush on Tim McGraw?
Well, I'm sorry there was not enough room up here for you guys. We're glad to have you back, and we were able to catch up with the 5th member of our team. Our very own Katie Lucas was able to chat with Rocker Steiner. Check this out.
Rocker Steiner in the house at the Music City Rodeo. I think Nashville and rodeo right here at Bridgestone. Rocker, I think this was made for you.
I think it was too, if I'm completely honest. So it's great to be here. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, so I'm excited.
You spent some time here in Nashville before, but how excited are you to know that rodeo and this great city are colliding tonight?
I've always, big cities and me really don't get along too well, but every time I've been to Nashville, I really feel at home. It's a lot like where I kind of come from, and it's a lot of rodeo culture around here. Country music and rodeo is very similar. So every time I come here, I feel right at home, and now I know that people actually know what the hell I do.
You've got so many fans here in Nashville, and for any fans watching on the Cowboy Channel, we've got a big announcement that we want to share with anyone. This is really why we're talking, so take it away. What is our big news?
Yeah, so I'm super excited to announce this. I had this idea a long time ago to get a big bus and pack me and my friends in it and take a camera crew along for about a month. So right after Cheyenne, or starting in Cheyenne, we're getting a Prevost bus. Me, my traveling partners, Waylon Bourgeois and Cole Franks, we'll show you guys what life on the road with us is really like. It's wild, it's Western. Some people might not like it, but I like it. So. And
you've given it a really fitting name, too. Let's unveil the poster here and the name of the series.
So the name that fits me the best in my crew is Hell on Wheels. So that slipped off my tongue at Houston, and it just kind of stuck. And we were thinking about doing some other names, or this one might not work out. So it just wasn't as good if it wasn't Hell on Wheels. So this name means a lot to me, and the group of boys that's going to be with me means a lot. So it's going to be a fun summer.
All right, what can we expect from these 30-plus days that we're going to spend on the road with you?
I can't really tell you. I don't know what to expect. The rodeo is so wild. It changes all the time. Schedules, you get split up and different people get in with you. It's very unpredictable. So I can't even explain what it's going to be like, because myself, I don't even know what's going on. So it's going to be wild, action-packed, nonstop rodeo. Wild.
But is there anything that might surprise folks about what you do on the road, how you guys interact when you're traveling from rodeo to rodeo? Anything out there that might be surprising?
I feel like nothing I do is surprising. I don't know. I kind of just live as the wind takes me. So, we might do some stuff people don't like, and I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. I guess you'll have to watch to find out.
Hey, that's a perfect way to end it. You're going to have to watch Hell on Wheels debuting this fall.
Thank you so much, Katie. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I am tuning into that because, like he said, that's got to be the most unpredictable show I've ever seen.
Yeah, he said it. They're probably going to do some things people aren't going to like, but that's just the way they live.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He said wild a few times. I've been out here rodeoing for about 17 years now, and wild's a pretty good adjective to describe some of it.
He did say wild a lot. I was starting to count. I think that's going to be the theme for sure. And you know what? Rocker is out tonight in Bridgestone Arena. He's going against Neurotic Toddy. Tilden, what do you know about this horse?
Yeah, that horse is wild. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moves right here, and Rocker's got a real chance to kind of get him watching him. And he might be 81, he might be 91. There's dang sure some stuff that's going to happen. A lot of moves, a lot of spurring. I'm excited to see it.
But one thing's for sure, Rocker knows how to go and do his job on horses like that. Just like you said, if he goes and does his job, the judges will watch him. He has a chance to pull a pretty good check out here.
Yeah, this probably isn't the best horse in the draw, and when he got the draw, he probably wasn't, the most excited, not as excited to say me and Oren Larson, but this is still a chance to win a good check, and it's like I said, he maybe gets an average check, maybe he gets a really good check, though, because Rocker can ride, man, and he knows what to do, and this horse fits his style. It's going to be wild.
Well, and I think it's all about chances adding up over and over again all year long to get to the end result.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this is dang sure a chance. And when a rodeo adds $25,000 and is a one-header, everybody wants a chance at first, but fifth's going to pay pretty dang good tonight.
Now, we do have an exciting night, and we got to go right into Tilden. We have our In the Weeds with RM43. Who are you picking here? Who are you watching?
I'm really excited about this horse, Cosmic Stardust. This is a newer horse of Penthouse Rodeos that's been around just this year. He's only been to a couple of big rodeos, takes a big move out of there to the right. Both the trips I've seen him, he does that. Gets underneath himself, kicks high, kicks hard, real snappy. Isn't going to cover a lot of ground. He's not going to get real far away from the buck and shoots right there, and that's an advantage. When the judges are standing right there and the horse is still right there when the 8-second whistle blows, that's a big deal. This horse is up underneath himself, and what I mean is when that rigging comes up, it's also coming back right there. And so, you watch that ride with Sage Allen, and Sage made a great ride, but he stubs his toe just a little bit, and that horse is going to make him look silly right there. He's standing him on his feet every jump. These are the horses we all want to get on, but that doesn't mean they're actually easy. You know what I mean? This is a horse that one of the best guys in the world wants to get on, and Orrin Larson is one of those guys. Orrin's been to the national finals 9 times. He's been a hitter for a long time. Orrin Larson has a real chance tonight, and I expect him to get ducked down behind that mustache and go at this thing. Get them long legs going, and Orrin Larson's going to show you what it's all about. I hope he's less points than I am, but I'm expecting a really high score out of this with Orrin Larson tonight.
Well, you said it right there. That horse, this arena is similar to what we just watched that horse at San Angelo buck in. So that horse is going to see the fence. He's going to stack up, and the judges love to see it when they're right out in front doing their job.
Yeah, absolutely. And aside from staying close, he's getting real high in the air. He has a lot of timing, and he's kicking. Like, he's breaking over and snapping every time. And so Orrin's got a lot of time to get his feet to the rigging and back in the neck and beat him to the ground. Like I said, this horse still has a difficulty factor, though. Like, I feel like sometimes we shortchange these horses because we're all like, man, that's the one we want to get on. But that doesn't mean that this is a lock. The way that momentum goes, where you're coming back, like the horse is coming back, it feels like somebody's kind of pushing you in the back, trying to get you out over your feet. Some of these horses feel like there's like a big tough bulldogger like J.D. Struckness back there pushing you in the back. This one's going to be more like Luke Branquino back there, just kind of giving you a little shove,
Well, and I think it's cool to see and learn like the advantages of these horses and how these guys can dress them up. And then, we don't know how these horses are going to react, but like we said, they're chances, and you got to capitalize on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Expect to see old Big Daddy Longstroke Orrin Larson get going on this thing tonight. This will be fun watching.
I love how you're describing these. I wish we could go through every athlete because I want to hear about this. Now, speaking of someone who has been capitalizing on their chances, we got to talk about our higher boots comeback story of the rodeo, which is none other than Stetson Wright.
Who isn't excited to watch Stetson Wright ride?
Yeah, when I showed up in Fort Worth this year and Stetson Wright had his RV parked out in the parking lot and was coming up as a walk-up replacement at all the big winter rodeos, I'm like, this guy's hungry. And that's a word that gets thrown around quite a bit. And maybe it means something to you, maybe it doesn't. But when you look at a guy that has got that many gold buckles and is still just chomping at the bits to come out here and run at them, that's going to be a hard guy to beat right there. And there's nothing Stetson Wright can't do, and I'm excited to see him do it the rest of the year.
Well, and you said it right there. He had his RV parked in the parking lot of every major rodeo because they don't let exemptions. There's no exemptions when you enter it. You're qualified in or you're on the sidelines sitting out in your RV waiting for somebody to turn out so you can take advantage of it. Now, I asked him, about the winter rodeo. He's like, man, when they turned out a buck and bull, it was awesome because they were some buckers and I knew that I can get by them and win. And that's exactly what we've seen him do over the winter. He said the bronc riding was a little bit tougher because they're usually turning out a horse that maybe a little bit dangerous in the chute or just no chance at all. But that is hunger right there.
Yeah, man, I just cannot put into words how big that is, right? Like, I mean, because you get to a certain point sometimes and maybe you think you're too good to walk up. And Stetson Wright's won everything there is, and he's not too good to walk up, and he took advantage of it at a few different places.
Well, and I think it's like for the love of rodeo, right? There's no pride, nothing. He's willing to show up, wait to get on, and like he said, he was excited to be there. He was excited to get on, and we saw that all winter long.
Yeah, just like his brother, his why is because he loves it, and it's easy to see.
Yeah.
Luke, were you just going on and on about exemptions? So you trying to get this rodeo to maybe let you in tonight? It's still a no. It's still a no.
I asked.
I did ask if walk-up replace was available, but it's not, so.
They have some bulls available.
Put me down.
You said you were an all-around cowboy.
Enough, you guys. All right, we are getting closer and closer to rodeo time. Don't go anywhere. We come back. We've got our rodeo picks and the start time of that rodeo. Stay tuned.
Rodeo Live is brought to you by Ariat. Ready, set, riding boots and jeans that work as hard as you do.
beautiful. Keep going, keep going.
Welcome back to Rodeo Live, one of the premier shows on the Cowboy Channel. But right now, we get a chance to catch up with another one of those fantastic shows that we're bringing to you this summer. Farms of America debuted just last week on the Cowboy Channel, and we're getting a chance to catch up now with Matt and Nicole Kroll, one of the cast and characters of that show. Guys, your episode debuted on May 26th. It was filmed months and months ago. Now that you've had a chance to sit back and watch your episode, see it all come together, what do we think?
We think, Reagan and Massey, who was kind of funding the project, and they did a great job of just telling our story and just being natural, and everything they showed was what it is, what we deal with every day in the farming world. And I think I'm excited to see the next 11 families I think they're following all across America. So it's going to show you all different facets of agriculture, and excited to see the rest, and I thought they did a great job with ours.
Such an important part of the Western world and a natural tie into the rodeo world as well. We're here at the Music City Rodeo. Nicole, what are you most looking forward to tonight?
Oh my gosh, all of it. It's so much more than a rodeo. It's a whole production. There's so much going on. Obviously, being in Nashville brings a whole new element with the music, and it's a big party. I'm excited. It'll be a lot of fun. Really impressed by the animals. Can't wait to see all those out there. And this is a sport. This is going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for Tim McGraw, too.
It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We're bringing together the farming, rodeo, and music worlds here at the Music City Rodeo.
Well, thank you so much, Katie. Welcome back for the final time here, Rodeo Live in Nashville, Music City Rodeo. I'm your host, Sierra Spratt, alongside me, Luke Branquino, Jordan Joe Hollenbach, and Tilden Hooper for the last time tonight. Kind of sad, but we got to get this rodeo going.
Everybody's excited to be here at Nashville. Look at this crowd. They don't know that Tilden's not up tonight. They thought he was up tonight, so they're coming in here for him. But, man, phenomenal show up and show out for Music City at the rodeo.
Now, we have something very exciting for the fans watching this rodeo tonight, and that is Rodeo Picks. You scan that QR code right there on the screen. You have a chance to win $10,000. All you do is go through each event, pick who you think is going to take home that #1 prize. If you get the most right, you win a buckle exclusively here from Music City Rodeo. But if you get them all right, you get $10,000 right in your pocket, Luke.
I could take $10,000 right now. How about you guys?
Absolutely. Have you entered yet?
Yeah, twice.
Oh, you did? You
Yep.
and Lindsay.
Yeah.
Well, let's just go through that then. Tilden, who are your picks for tonight? Who are you letting the people know at home who they should pick?
Yeah, the saddle bronc riding, to me, that's an easy one. Sage Newman on Bad Habits. This is a horse that's going to be big. He's going to turn out of there. It's going to be a classic-looking ride. He's just going to jump and kick, but he's going to do it really hard and really good, and Sage Newman's going to do what he does. He's going to hang a 2-jump spur out on this sucker and go right at him. This is going to be what you imagine saddle bronc riding being like. Then you get over into the bull riding, you got Wasey Shalla. He's had this bull wasted nights. He got on him at Cheyenne last year, got him down, but Wasey's hot right now, and this is a bull he can ride. When he rides him, I'm expecting 88, 89 points.
Jordan, what about you? Who do you got?
In the barrel race, I'm going to go ahead with Carly Otero. She's riding Twix, which is his second pro rodeo. She went to Fort Smith last night, was winning 6 on this horse. She is such a jockey. So many horses the NFR. For her to be able to show up at Nashville on a horse that's the second rodeo, you got to have faith in a cowgirl like that. So I'm picking her. And then the team roping, I'm going to go with my brother-in-law, Jonathan Torres and Nelson Wyatt. They've been on a hot streak. I guess Jonathan ropes okay, but yeah. So I'm going to go with them in the team roping.
Seems solid, Luke. You're the final one.
Yeah, I got to go with Justin Schaefer in the steer wrestling. He has a steer that they haven't done a lot on here, but if there's a guy that can get by a tough one, it's going to be Justin. And then tie down rope and Marty Yates. He is phenomenal on that great horse. Don't know what he has. It doesn't matter. Marty's going to tie him up fast.
Well, I want to thank all of you guys here at the desk for joining today. It's been quite an experience here. We got to meet some celebrities, talk rodeo. It was a pleasure, and I want to thank everyone watching at home. We are so close for rodeo start time. We're going to throw it to our friend Justin McKee in the Cowboy Channel studio to take us through that final performance. We can't wait to see how it shakes up. Thank you so much for joining us.